Alright, welcome to today is Head Gasket Day of my Cummins Coronet. I've got everything ready. I have my storage bin, the mail truck. I have my table here to hold stuff. I got a new gasket for the turbo head gasket. I'm cleaning off the air filter because it's disgusting. I got a couple tools out. By the time I'm done, I'm sure this will be covered with tools. I got my time-lapse video going on the engine. I drained the antifreeze out and I decided, well, I should probably degrease it a little because it's covered in crap from when it blew out. And so I'm going to get it all done. Once it's all degreased, I'm going to sit another minute and we'll rinse it off real good. And then we'll start taking everything off of this and putting it in the mail truck as we store it. So hopefully in a couple hours, we got this thing stripped. I'll bring you back when I go to untorque the head. I'm going to put a torque gauge on it to see what it is to come off on each, on a couple studs, just to see. And then we'll keep going. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Woohoo!
Alright, so degreasing the engine, getting it all a little bit better, which was a complete waste of time. But, you know, did it anyway. Make it shiny. Make it shiny. This is flushing the radiator. You can see, like, when I did the little overflow, it was like tarish black looking garbage. Well, that's the whole engine block. So you flush the whole radiator to make sure that it is clean, or as clean as you can get it. So we flush the radiator hoses, pulling off the belt, tearing the car apart piece by piece. Upper hose came off. You see the water on the right side running down? That's flooding out of the car. So just flushing out the whole system, making sure it's clean. Now I do the heater hose through the thermostat, or the heater hose stuff, the temperature sensor. So yeah, lots of flushiness. I got shot in the face a few times with this. Get it all cleaned off. It was super fun. Then I blew it all off with an air hose so I didn't get water in places. And then I put up my protective blankets. I call them fender guards or packing blankets, you know. So yeah, this is me tearing the car apart. I hope you guys enjoy this. I tried to fast forward a lot of it for you so you don't have to fast forward. But feel free to skip around and miss funny parts of Jake saying random crap for an hour and 20 minutes. Longest video I hope to ever put out, but I didn't know how to shorten it or split it, so I didn't. Well, yeah, this is the 4th time I've done this head gasket now. This better be the last time I do this head gasket, or I might suddenly like electric cars. Nah, I won't do that much. I'll just put a big gas engine with a blower. This should be good. Everything should be good from this point forward. But enjoy. The fuel line's coming off. I have my blue fingers of cleanliness on all the injectors. Take the AC compressor loose to get that bracket. There's little bolts that hold it tight to the head. There's 2 bolts got to come out. Then I put these brackets back just to hold it. Pulling off the turbo boot, and then the turbo. The oil lines, I guess, got to come off. Well, and then I take off the turbo. My little turbo. Whee! Alright, back to working on stuff. Don't need that. For those of you wondering why Jake is using a wrench and not a ratchet, well, he's an idiot. But it's so much faster in this 4 times speed. It took forever. The cameraman was bored. But we push through. Never surrender.
For all of you who are watching for a learning experience, it's good. I'm glad you're learning. This is how you back these off all the way so that everything is backed off. And then when you're done screwing around with everything, so this is me untorquing the head studs. 30, 50, 70, 80, 90, 105. It's starting to move. I think it's moving. I'm breaking something. What are we at? 90s. This just, so my head was loose, right? Yep, that was at a 90 to break loose. Let's see what this one's at, so you guys can see. And 90, she broke loose at 100. So it's 30 pounds loose.
So you can see I'm a wimp and I use a cheater bar, but every single head bolt or stud nut came loose at almost exactly the same pressure, about 90 to 105. I would imagine they'd be closer to 130 coming loose. So my head was slightly loose, I think. I like my cheater bar. Let me know if you use cheater bars like this. And if you make faces and talk to yourself when you work on your car, let me know. Yeah, so this is a nice little Amazon torquey thingy. You put it on there, you can tell the torque. Now I took it off because I'm just going to go crazy on it, loosen everything up, and get these head nuts off. I just wanted to loosen everything, get it all good, so that I get my head off there and see how bad that gasket is. So I really wish my engine was down an inch or my firewall came up an inch. Most likely firewall up, but right there's a bunch of stuff on the inside I didn't want to lose. I already lost a lot when I did this the way I did, but you know, looking back. So pulling off all the head nuts. I am curious if anyone out there knows what is the proper torque that it should come off at. If you torque something down at 130 foot-pound, you would think 130 foot-pound would be what it would take to take it off, to reverse it. Or a little more, not less. If anyone knows out there, comment. I want to know if you think I'm right or if I'm crazy, but, you know, let me know. And that's why I'm using a cheater bar. I have a short ratchet and I need to get these studs off, and they're tight, but not with a big pipe.
I built a fancy push rod holder straight from trash. So I have fan, and then my push rods for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'll put my rocker pedestals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll set each one in, and let's get this done. So let me grab the first one. So I can take off this stud. And I can't lose anything, or else this whole day is done. So I'll take that pedestal, the washers there. This is pedestal 1. It goes there. All right. Then I'll take rockers, push rods, I meant, 1 and 2. Fan is first, and I'll just stick them right here. Boom. This is how I keep stuff in order, because that's how I do. And then this.
So yeah, I basically repeat the exact same process of setting the rocker pedestal, then the push rods in. I really don't know. If anyone knows if it makes a giant difference, I have no idea. I just figure if you don't know, don't mess it up. I put stuff back where I get the stuff, and I try to make it fast so that you guys don't have to fast forward, but you probably will fast forward because it's a long time. However, I thought it was enjoyable to show you that I did every single step. I like to show people that I actually do the work for my car, If you do the work for your car, comment below. Let me know. I don't think it's extremely necessary to organize nut and washer like this and stud, but I don't know, so I just do stuff. And I know I'm crazy. I always forgetting the tools. I had to run away and get my tools, get the Allen head to pull the studs. Studs are too tight to pull by hand, just a little bit of pressure to cut them out. But I was deciding I don't want to lose anything, so I pull every stud, I pull every bolt, or every nut and washer, laid it out on a clean blue towel, and as you'll see, I tried to keep them all organized and ready to go. That way I could clean them and put them back with roughly the exact same stud they just came off of. And I don't even think it matters, just it doesn't. But to me, I feel that warm fuzzies inside that like I tried to be cool. So this is how I just lay them out. And off to the next ones. Just pulling every stud out. Put the nut and the washer to the side. Get that stud out of there. My hands, if they could move this fast in real life, I would be Bruce Lee or some ninja. Auto Ninja. That'd be a cool name for someone who's ever going to start a YouTube. I'm Auto Ninja. Auto Ninjas, unite. Anyway. So yeah, just doing this. Very repetitive, but I wanted to show people that I did every single step and what I did. So if you're ever like doing a head, you watch those YouTubers like, yeah, we did the head in the parking lot of a Napa, and I spent hours and hours on this silly thing. So I'm proud of you who can do that in a parking lot. I spent so many hours on this. Granted, it was just me and I'm a crazy person in the backyard, and I took break and got lunch and dinner, and you know, I'm a human. I eat food. I like food. But yeah, there you go. Me working like crazy fast as I can. So if you noticed, I thought you would be done watching my nuts undone on the head stud, so I rounded up some kids and let's tear this engine out. This is me. This is muted because of violence and obscene gestures, apparently. I do not know how to wear a hat straight. If you notice, it's crooked, whatever. It's a round hat, no one cares. But yeah, So head is free. That's a push rod back there. I dropped it. You have to pull the head up to get enough motion to get it out, but that one does still work. Now it's just coming out. You can see the idler pulley, tensioner pulley in the front. I left it on. That was stupid. Hi, you learn, you learn. I can see my block. You can see the block in there. Kids are pumping away. I wish they were this fast when I ask them to do stuff like, but they are not. They're like, what do you mean? Pull it. No. Yes. Okay, pull it. Yay. So the head is free. And pull it out of the way. There we go. Got the bigger boy on it. Move this heavy thing. I think the head weighs over 100 pounds, and you add the manifold, so it's close to 200. It's pretty heavy. So this is me explaining what valves are. This is me explaining the head gasket. It's blown here and there, and it's just trashed. It blew out in several locations. Like that spot's blown out. That spot's blown. Like it just blew the whole head gasket. It wasn't like in a single spot. Trash. There goes a $100 gasket into the trash. So now I've got to clean the block, and I will check it for flatness. I went on against logic. I bought some flat tools, straight edges, to where I could check it. So here's me getting them. They came in a set of 3 on Amazon, and they got these ones. So boom. I set it at an angle because Cutter Bob, I think his name was, or Rob, he does that. And then I got my feeler gauge, and it was going under all over the place, and I started to cry inside, and I was like, oh no, I can fit different gauges in different spots. And I checked it, and I checked it, and I started crying, and I didn't really know what to do, so I kept checking it, hoping it would change. And then it hit me. It's free in the middle, but there's some high spots. And then I eventually will take this off, and you'll see me stop crying and realize that you didn't clean the freaking surface with a razor blade. So now I'll take this thing off, I hope, but you can see I hit a gasket right there. There's gasket material on the block, and it's not very thick, but material is material. And so I was like, oh, durr. Anybody who ever thinks they're smart, watch themselves do their own work, you suddenly learn how dumb you really are. So you can see I'm getting quite a bit of underneath, and I'm like, this is terrible. So I believe I start cleaning it here soon. I should, because it's, you got 3 4/1000 is acceptable, and I could get like 7 in a couple spots, like right between 3 and 4. So I was like, oh no. But yeah, once I remove the gasket, this block is still pretty flat. It's fat too, pretty hot and tempting. So this is me crying, and then the thought, get a razor blade. So that's when I see the gaskets. But you can see the pistons look fine, everything looks fine. I'm gonna clean that off. Now I clean it with a razor blade. I go past my mail truck, I get a razor blade from my razor bladery, and you can see how clean my shop is. Everything about me is cleanliness. I am 100% a clean person. Now, cleaning the gasket off, I had no idea if it mattered if some of this junk fell in holes. I bet it was bad, but I just wanted it cleaned off and good. After I did all of the razor scraping, I still had a couple spots. So off camera, I took a machining block, which was as flat as I could find, some 1200 grit sandpaper, and WD-40 stuff, and I wet sanded the whole block head, and it cleaned up a lot of little stuff. Just light pressure, sanding it down in swirly motions, trying to get a real good clean. Kept it super lubed up with WD-40. You can see all the gasket material there, but I just kind of sanded it, make sure it was clean. Once I had it ready, look at that shiny gasket. All my kids helping. by standing around. Either way, this time I took the idler pulley off. I got it all the way set down. Tell my kids, alright, you're almost free. Get this hoist out of here. Get this chain out of here. And then I start putting the push rod and bring the hoist back in. Lift this stupid thing back up. Man, if I'd have built that little thing a little bit bigger, get the push rod going in. I think I got it. Now we can lower this back down on the gasket. Now get that thing out of here. I put all the studs on. I put all the nuts on, or the washers on. Just making sure I'm getting everything in. I tightened everything down like I'm supposed to. Put the push rods back in and make sure they sit right in the tappets, the lifters. I don't know what they call them. If you know what it's called, tell me. But I put those all in, and the head's starting to go back together, which makes me excited because I'm like, I'm going to finish this. I don't finish in the first night. I have this thing called kids, family, and life, and I don't get to do everything I want. Plus, it was cold. It was like 60 degrees. I don't know what your weather's like, but in winter, 60 is still cold down here. But get all my push rods in. I think I put all the other stuff on. I'm glad I built that little box to hold all my stuff because, well, it makes you feel comfortable. So, got to clean up all this stuff. When I don't want anything on the head or under the pedestal. You set these on, everything should still be somewhat loose. The pedestal small bolt, I don't know what else to call it. The tiny bolt of the pedestal, not the head stud. And I just started putting them all on, trying to make sure my push rods were good, that I don't have them out from underneath, and that once it's down I can still put the push rod on, depending on where it's at in rotation. So yeah, lots and lots of work, tedious stuff, all that work to tear it apart just to clean it and put it back together. So enjoy a little more time. This was to prove that I used ARP torque lube on every nut. But yeah, so I just put it on each one, made sure each stud was tightened, and then backed off a half turn. Then I put the nut washer, then the nut, and then I worked all that together. I put a ton of lube on it, way more than anyone ever needs, but I figured I bought extra lube. Lube it. And if you see me talking, you see my lips moving, you think I'm having a profound conversation with my son about the meaning of life and all this other stuff. Oh no, this is random movie quotes and garbage conversation and stupid pun jokes and dad jokes and motor comments and talking about, oh, this is number 75, almost, yep, tight, yep, that's close enough, I can get a wrench on it soon, you know. What are you doing over there? I want to look sexy. Come back over here. Either way, that's more of what you would actually have heard, so that's why I muted it. No one needs to hear the advice of Jake.
So this is number one. We're going from 42. 80. Smooth strokes. And there's 42. Okay, so we go from 1. According to our drawing, I should jump to 2. Right there.
I like this song, I hope you do too, but basically you're going to see 3 steps of torquing whatever 40 foot-pounds is. And then on the passenger fender, I accidentally printed out from Power Driven Diesel the torque pattern on 11 by 17. But after I did it, I really liked it because I could see it. See it? It's huge. Enormous printout. I highly suggest it. Set it on your fender, boom. Work your way around. I'm torquing in 3 levels. So you'll hear me pause again, explaining the next thing that I'm doing. I think it was Cutter Up Bob. I liked the way he sounded, his confidence in the hundreds of engines he's built, so I replicate that dude from YouTube. This is me, torquing away. So, by the end of this, I am dead, I'll show you.
And now that's good. Now we do everything according to, now that I remember his name, Cutter Up Rob. So the first step was the initial torque. Now that we have initial torqued it, we're going to do everything one more time at 42, starting at 1. Should go.
And just like Cutter Up Rob said, some of these were pretty loose again. Some of them came out pretty tight. The second round torque was much easier. It wasn't like tons of spinning, but you can see some is half, or some's a quarter, some's a little less, some's about a half a turn. Overall, second round was nice.
Don't do that. He's hit my car. Okay, now that was 42. So now we need to go to 84. So we're going to take this 50, 70, 80, 84. No, the guy says you don't have to do it again. So the top torque, 125. And now we go to 125. 25 or 30?
Do you see me getting worn out? Like, it's so much pressure. It's like 26 times that you have to torque it to this, and then I do it twice. So it's a lot of torquing. Not twerking, torquing.
All right. 26. One more time.
I don't know about you, but that's how you know I'm out of shape. Torquing ahead gets me all worn out and tired. Much older, and I'd probably have to take a nap.
$26. The head is torqued. Whew. All right. I torqued my head to 134, 9 pounds over, which that's fine. Torque wrench is backed off so I don't wreck it. Okay. We'll do those by hand with this. Okay. So the little guys are 25. So, and 25. You know what they say? It'll work. Yep. 25. And a pinch to grow an inch, right?
You want that thing growing.
Ooh, I don't want it to grow at all. Okay. So the head has been torqued. Yippee-ki-yay. So, with the head torqued, put it all together still. Valves need lashed. I forgot how to do that. Gotta look that up.
Alright, so I spent some time, looked up valve lashing again, watched the YouTube, looked up the 10,000ths for the intake, 20,000, 2,000, I don't remember, thousandths stuff. And then you roll the engine over and you watch cylinder 1. I watched the power driven diesel thing on this. Those guys are super helpful. I believe his name is Todd. He just shows you where the lobes are on the cam, and that dictates which ones are up and down. So you watch your intake, I think maybe it's exhaust, I don't know. And then you watch it come up, then you watch the other one, you go, okay, if this one's in right between intake and exhaust, they both go flat. So then this companion one is like ready to do both of them real quick, and then you do the next one, you just roll through the whole thing. Once I figured it out, it took forever. Once I figured it out, it wasn't too bad. So that's my neighbor there helping me. Just come over to see what happened, because he's like, you blew up your car again. So he just came to say hi. I like him. He was here when we flew the van.
So I'm going to put some Black Eyed Peas on in my head and sing Get Retarded, because I originally set the timing at like 24 or 7. I don't even know, because I just did it and my helper was, I don't know, 6-year-old kid. And so now that it's in here and I've had issues, I feel like let's get retarded. I'm going to take it 3 degrees back. So let me go get my retarding tool. This is the retard scale. So you use it to advance your timing and to retard it. So all you do is you'll put this on and you put a piece of wire across this, and then I gotta watch the video again, but I think if you turn it this way, that advances, and this way should retard. So what we'll do is we'll retard it to about 5 and then bring it back to 3. And that should get rid of the gear lashing. So now I gotta fit this on my flywheel and then build a little wire, and Carter's gonna have to crank the engine, and then I'll be like, that, and we'll yell at each other. Father bonding time. All right, let's go put this thing underneath. Hopefully in a spot where I can see it, because if you can't see it, how do you do anything? So let me see if I figure out this crap. Oh, but hopefully it'll still have enough power to scare me, and enough I don't know, awesomeness to still be cool, even though it'll be retarded. So there's my top dead centered thing. Now I just need a wire. If you come down here, Carter, you can see up here how this is set. So I'm just gonna take, you can see here, I gotta get a wire to come up here somehow and just point at this.
So let me find a little piece of wire from somewhere. I'm still looking, I promise. Is it metal? Or is it? Yep, that is what. So this is piece of wire. Is literally all this is going to take. And we'll just take this, cut it, make it straight. I don't think I need all of it. And yeah, I don't even think I need that stuff. So what I'll do is I'll make this my wire gauge. Oh, I'm so old. What's going on? Okay. So now all I gotta do is find a way to basically that will just sit like this. You do have to excuse the old man sounds. I was working on this car. I think I'm at the 12 hours onto the car now. I started way early. Be gentle. So what I'm going to do is that gauge is at 0. So I'll double check YouTube, but this should be advanced. This should be retarding. So we'll retard it back to the 5 and then bring it to 3. But I got to pull a pulley first. It's just going to suck. All right. So the fuel pump high pressuriness is right here. Hold on. So this is that comes off, and this also comes off. And then you store them back together because they're together, people. And now we got a nut in there, and I don't know what size that thing's enormous. Does our socket work? Do we have enough room? It's not 1 1/8. What the? Boom, boom. Socket set. Dun, 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 dun. Socket set. Hopefully I don't tip my table. Okay. Inch and a 16th. What if it's inch and 3/16? Stupid internet. Hey, 3/16. Okay. So now we need to loosen. Loosen. So that's tighten. That's loosen. I know this sucker's tight. Hopefully I can get her. I have to go this way. Okay. Loosened. No. So that's loose. Now I need my tweaker. Anyone who wants to know? Tweaker. So now that I have a tweaker, and hopefully that nut's loose, it is not loose. I get the ratchet on it.
Couple more loosens on this thing. There it is. Okay, dokie. So now that's there. But the tweaker, power driven, teaches you things like, hey, put this here and it will save you headache-ness. And so that comes up. Look, the nut can never fall. And now there's a washer and we say, look, it can't fall. This is a freaking fancy washer. Yep, still there. Okay, so those two stay together. And now with that, this is just a gear in there. So verify that our thing hasn't moved in any way, shape, or form. That's what messing with the nightmare. And it did. Okay. So it's good. We'll have to keep checking it. Now, history. And then I guess wherever it comes off, as long as we don't rotate the engine, we're solid. So this goes in next. I'm going to start wearing gloves again. I keep getting stuff, so let's get retarded.
It's kind of hard to see in there, but basically there's the two bolts, sticking them in there best I can. Once I get them started, you should be able to hear me talk again.
Okay. Now, my wrench. Where did I put it? I'll do one. Let's just tighten this. So apparently this is just held on by friction. So you just do this. Man. There it went. That's it. That puppy's now free. The pulley's off. So if anything moves, your timing is adjusted. Okay, to the 5.
There.
Once we get to the 5, we're going to come back 2 clicks.
2.
You see the little clicks?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm going the wrong way, you gotta tell me. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Which way is it moving?
The wrong way.
Okay.
1, 3, 4, done.
Okay. Here I'm coming back, slow and steady.
1 click. And there.
Okay. With that, we just retarded our timing. Correct? By 3. All right, so I was right. Thank you, power-driven diesel. I don't know how the crap I'm going to do this. Magic trick. Hey, goodness. You said it was going to suck. Okay. I blew a bunch of starter fluid in there. That should help it to be good. Then it is all clean and ready. This goes out of the way for now. Back into its case because, well, that's where I put stuff. I want to know what it is. It's the timing puller kit. This is the P7100 power-driven timing thing puller. Amazing little kit. It actually works pretty good. You just saw me use it. So now we're going to put this all back together. We put our little washer on our tweaker. Then we come down, because if you drop the washer in to this housing, you're screwed. So we don't want to do that. Then I put this nut on here. I'm making sure that I put the lock washer marks on the same way. And I know that it's on there and take the tweaker out. So with that, I'll put this wrench on there. Okay, now it's set. And the video says, I think his name's Todd from Power Driven. He's like, oh yeah, it's 140. I've seen people put it 160, and there's a little thing that pops up saying the book says 120. But guess what I'm going to do? 140. Because my thoughts are, if that nut comes off, I am going to get very upset. 140. And now I wrench the heck out of this nut. Right here. And all right. That sucker is torqued to 140, just to make sure. Yep. 40 plus a touch. I don't want that coming loose. Okay. I retarded the timing, and I don't feel guilty one bit about that. Well, power-driven diesel's been pretty good to me. One of these days, they're just going to call me up and say, Jake, you should drive up here, and we'll put in your 6-stroker, or whatever that 12-valve that they build is freaking sweet. We'll put a stroker and a better double-disc clutch in this thing. And I'll be like, oh, power-driven, you're my favorite. I might even put a sticker on my car. Maybe. All right. Fuel lines. Yeah. That's because I don't like the system left open.
Yeah.
So let's put these fuel line thing on.
You'll notice that it's dark. Well, the second I said let's put the fuel lines on, I was told it was dinner time. I was hungry. So you get to see this happens in the dark. Getting all the fuel lines on. Super, super excited to see it. This is me changing the oil, so I decided I'd go underneath, pull the oil plug, let it drain for a while because it's cold. Try to get as much of the oil out as possible, get the turbo on there, get it all lined up with the exhaust, then wrench it to the manifold. Because I had a little exhaust leak in there a little bit, don't really care. But it's all tightened up, got the drain done, put the oil plug back in, that was the darkness, now you can see the oil going in. So I got the oil in, oil filter on, that thing just ran. Did you see it? Cranking over and whatnot. Brum, brum. See the fuel all over the exhaust. My engine is running. Next day. I came out the next day, got the intake on, getting everything put together. It's actually starting to look like an engine. Remember, I got to do the hot retorque. But I'm able to get this together, put my little studs in here, the bolts in there to hold that bracket. Help hold the bracket. You made it this far in the video, you're used to me not speaking correctly, so thanks for staying with me and watching this video. Get the belt on there. Things are starting to look good. Heater hoses. These clamps, I swear they don't make hose clamps like they used to. If you're still watching and you've bought hose clamps and were pissed off because you couldn't use them twice, let me know. I swear they used to make them to where they lasted forever and you could use them 50,000 times. You see the engine running? My AC was crooked, pushing the fan belt off. That's how I blew the belt out last time. Now you see it spinning, running just fine. Brand new air filter, because the one I tried to clean was trash, so I threw it away. It was way too bad. But watching the temperature come up, making sure it's all temperatured up, looking for leaks everywhere. Everything's looking good. She's running away. Look at that fan belt move. Water's getting up there. Opened up thermostat, add a little water, boom, close the cap. Now, checking temperature everywhere on it, make sure I'm happy. And I am happy. Revved it up twice because I'm an idiot. Gotta hear it rev. But yeah, I think I let it run for at least 45 minutes to an hour. And these are freaking hot. So you can tell it's hot because everything's just coming right off. Whew, toasty. So I'm going to take all of these valve covers off now. And then I got to pull the fuel lines again. This thing's like self-threaded just by vibrating on. They're just sitting there, but they tighten themselves. They just know what they want to do. They don't want to leak oil. Ouch, that's hot. The whole engine's up. I got it to about 170. That's all this thing gets to when it's not driving. I think that's why the one guy said, So yeah, they were hot. Everything was hot. Burnt my hands pretty good doing all this, but got the valve covers off. Then you got to take off the other stuff. Everything in the way. Yay. So crack all the fuel lines loose. Got to take all the fuel lines off. Just so I can retorque it because there's 3 bolts in the center that are underneath the fuel rail lines and the return line. So got to take all this off, and when I took off the return line, I dropped the washer. Needless to say, I wasn't happy. I had to go find another washer, but here we go. Watching me tear the fuel lines off of a very hot engine, by the way. It's not cold. Everything is like burning me. Hot retorque is definitely hot, like because it's hot. Yeah. So, got that one out of the way. And taking the back side off, the 456 off there. But yeah, everything's hot. I'm hot. It's hot outside. Well, it's like 75, 80 degrees. But yeah. So, keep on cruising. size it is. It's really sad. 14. And now, tightening. You're going to go on that side. Okay, so I need to start with number 1, which is between 3 and 4. Right where this is. So now that's out of the way. Okay. So we're going to pull it till it clicks. Yeah, me too. Sure, I meant 126 and not 36. Son of a...
Was it wrong?
A little less. Don't want to break nothing.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's why we do this, I guess. Scariest thing I've ever done. Next to like watching Scooby-Doo Alone in the Dark. Oh. This is too... I wonder if I blew my dang head gasket. Okay. Okay. 3 is this one. So you can see the amount of motion I got out of each of these head studs. It was a quarter to a half a turn. Well, apparently hot retorquing really snugs this thing down. I have a pretty good feeling that after driving it, I'm not going to need to really worry. I'm trying to get 600 miles. Then I'll retorque the whole engine cold, change the oil, and then I go to boost land. And I want to just say boost all of it and make sure everything works good and send it. Do a few really good sends, then show you videos, making sure it works. Then take some friends on rides, and that's when stuff blows up. So I'll try not to take too many friends on rides because I gotta drive this thing or my wife will make me sell it, and I don't want to sell it. So gotta drive it nice and not beat it up too bad. But you can see the hot retorquing there. I'm just basically following the scale, burning my fingers. The intake on is in the way now. I don't realize how much it was in the way. But see, that one was a little better. But yeah, as you work around this thing, look at that. Quarter turn on that one. About a little over a quarter turn or so on that. So about a quarter turn, which makes me happy because I've blown 2 head gaskets, 3 if you count one that came with it, all on my own for not torquing it right. And when Power Driven told me, did you hot retorque? And I was like, no. They're like, hey, you want a head gasket? This is what I think they meant. Now I can see that it's super tight. So this is me taking off the return fuel line. This is where I dropped the washer. Yep. Right when I take this little one off, it wiggles and drops that washer. It found it. It was down on the starter between the block and the starter. So working on cars for hours and hours and hours just so that you don't have to drive a Prius. Worth it.
younger, been playing out front.
Okay. That is a hot retorqued Cummins 12 valve head. Now I gotta find a new washer, put this all back together. But I think I just heard dinner. So I'm gonna set my fuel lines on loosely so I don't get dirt and stuff in them. Undo my torquifier, and when I do an oil change next Saturday, hopefully, next Saturday, I will do an oil change, retorque it again. Better not move. There's this much. That's a lot of motion. So, set my fuel lines loosely. I really need that freaking washer. Okay, I got washers somewhere. Where did I put them? Bought assorted washers. Okay. Okay. The car last night, we heated up, got it all running, hot torqued everything. Everything looks just fine except for now it's just dirty, filthy. It was too hot last night to take it and drive it because, well, hold on. It was fine, but I couldn't check the fluids. Because you can't open the radiator when it's hot, it blows it all in your face. I've done it, it's really bad. So, what I gotta do now is you can see how the car has this stuff everywhere. Under the hood, firewall's a mess. So now, I'm gonna get the car, we're gonna start it up, move the truck, open the gates, get this thing out of here, take it to a car wash, wash it off, and a small little drive just to make sure it seems to be good. I mean, after a heat up yesterday, it should be just fine. Then I get to come back after the car is ready to go and I'm all shiny, happy, and good lucky, and I get to clean up this. So, backing out the car. Whoa! Where is he going? Backwards.
I don't know about you, but that is beautiful. Yes, I drove the car in, blown head gasket.
High pressure rinse. This looks cool.
And I drove it out. And I drove it to a car wash. So, here's me washing off the car. Went crazy on it, tried to be gentle because I painted it, and last thing I want to do is blow the paint off my car. But tried to clean it best I could, mostly just so it didn't look like garbage. There was greasy, oily stuff everywhere. So this is a degreaser that I found on the setting. Anyone who ever's used this knows it sucks. It didn't do a daggum thing. It didn't eat any grease. It's for probably pansy cars. I don't know. It didn't touch motor oil, grease, and antifreeze combo melted onto the body frame. But I sprayed it everywhere and wasted 10 minutes doing it. Yay me. This works every time. Scrub brushes are awesome at wrecking your paint job, smacking your car. But when you just want to kind of scrub it up real quick so that you look good enough to drive around, get some of the junk off, sat for a couple weeks just to kind of get it cleaned up, get her cleaned up, I did. I love how she looks when it gets cleaned up. 1, I painted it. 2, doesn't look like I painted it, and I just like watching cars get bubbly, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, getting at least the majority of the junk off the car. I will wash this car again soon, maybe by hand with some Dawn soap and scrub it and such. So, washing the car is cool. And under the hood, I think I show you. Let me see. Yeah. It didn't do a dang thing. Look at that. So gross. So upsetting. Waste of money. Don't do it. But at least my car has battle scars under the hood, you know, it's kind of cool, I guess. People like damage. Either way, washing off the car, and once it looks clean, no longer the car wash, right? We took it for a little drive. It drove really good. I didn't boost it. I had to clean the windows because I couldn't see. There's so much film and grime and junk everywhere. So we cleaned it off. It looks so much shinier. Get ready to drive it to work. Long drives, clean windows. Best way to do it. So yeah, I'm so glad if you made it this far in the video. Send me a comment saying I saw you wash your windows. I want to know if you made it to washing the windows, because if you did, high five to you. All right, so thank you guys for watching this entire head job, number 4. I just drove the car. We took it on a, I don't know, 10-mile drive, washed it off, super shiny. I don't really need a hat now, do I? I look so much better with my hair out. Anyways, we drove it around. The engine sounds quieter. It seems to be a little bit better for starting out of second gear. It used to shudder quite a bit. Shudder's almost gone. I can get rid of it quickly. So I think the 3 degrees of timing is amazing. It's way quiet. Its torque seems to be a little higher. We didn't go over 5 pounds of boost. My goal this week is 10 pounds max, no matter what happens, so that I'm gonna do it. I promise myself no blowing up the head gasket first 3 days. So 10 pounds, that's my goal. I'll drive the car the rest of the week because, you know, fluids were good, everything's good, car was good, car was quiet, car was strong. I can't wait. I'm actually excited to go to bed tonight like a Christmas morning so I can wake up and drive my car for forever. I got 80 or 90 miles to work and 80 to 90 miles back, depending how you calculate, roughly 180 miles. So I will send a short tomorrow, either with a tow truck or with me driving it all the way home, telling you how awesome it is, bouncing around like a little kid in a candy store. Either way, thank you for watching. We will see you guys the next time. Have fun.